The only true wisdom is to know that you know nothing. To admit ignorance is the beginning of wisdom. Wonder is the seed from which philosophy grows. Question everything, for questions are the path to clarity. Knowledge is not possession, but a lifelong pursuit. To know yourself is the foundation of all wisdom. The examined life is the only life worth living. He who thinks he knows everything closes the door to truth. The soul that seeks truth must be humbled before the unknown. True knowledge liberates, false certainty enslaves. Learning is not filling a vessel, but kindling a flame. A wise man speaks because he has something to say, a fool because he must say something. Philosophy is not answers, but the courage to keep asking. Ignorance is not shameful, refusing to seek truth is. To learn is to die to illusion and be reborn in truth. No book is wiser than a soul that questions itself. Thinking is the dialogue of the soul with itself. The mind grows sharp when it sharpens against questions. Knowledge without reflection is like food without digestion. The path to wisdom begins in silence, not in speech. Justice is harmony within the soul and within the city. No man is free who is a slave to his desires. Virtue is the wealth of the soul, greater than gold. The unjust man harms himself before he harms others. To be good is to act in harmony with truth. A just life is more precious than a long one. Power without justice is violence in disguise. A corrupt soul corrupts the city it governs. Laws are empty if virtue does not guide them. Better to suffer wrong than to commit it. Injustice anywhere poisons justice everywhere. To live justly is to live in peace with oneself. The tyrant enslaves others, but he is enslaved by his own fear. True freedom is self-mastery, not indulgence. No wealth can buy the purity of a just soul. The man who cheats others cheats himself most. To act unjustly is to wound the soul. The good life is not pleasure, but virtue. Justice is not given by men, but discovered within. Virtue once chosen is freedom forever. The city is the soul written in larger letters. A just society begins with just men. The ruler must govern not for himself, but for the good of all. The wise should rule, for wisdom serves all. Democracy dies when citizens refuse to think. A city without virtue is a body without a soul. Power is safest in the hands of those who least desire it. The health of society mirrors the health of its soul. Corruption spreads like disease when unchecked. To obey law is noble only if law itself is just. A ruler without virtue destroys the people he leads. Courage in citizens is the shield of democracy. Education is the seed of a free society. No city can stand if its youth are neglected. The strength of the state lies in the virtue of its people. The true politician guides souls, not markets. A city built on injustice will collapse by its own weight. The voice of the many is wise only when each soul is wise. To build a city is easy, to build justice within it is hard. Politics without philosophy is power without direction. The soul is the true self, the body its brief companion. To neglect the soul is the greatest poverty. Care for your soul more than for your wealth. A pure soul shines brighter than the stars. Virtue is the food of the soul. Without it, the soul starves. To live well is to live in accordance with the soul's good. The body ages, but the soul may grow young in wisdom. He who listens to his soul fears no judgment. Desire blinds the soul, reason gives it sight. The untrained soul wanders, the disciplined soul finds peace. The philosopher is a midwife of the soul, helping it give birth to truth. To master oneself is the noblest victory. A soul rich in virtue fears no loss. The wounds of the body may heal, but the wounds of the soul last. Purity of soul is the highest beauty. He who cultivates his soul becomes a friend of the divine. The noise of desire silences the voice of conscience. To heal the soul is greater than to heal the body. Wisdom is the music of the soul in harmony. A soul that chooses virtue is already immortal in life. To fear death is to claim knowledge one does not have. Death is not an end, but a passage. The soul is freed in death as a bird from its cage. Perhaps death is the greatest blessing we do not understand. He who has lived justly has nothing to fear in death. Death is a return to the source of being. The philosopher practices dying each day. To let go of falsehood is a small death that prepares the soul. Virtue makes the soul immortal beyond the grave. The body falls, but wisdom remains. Death is feared only by those who live without reflection. To die with virtue is to rise with the gods. Time destroys the body, but cannot touch the just soul. Immortality is not endless years, but eternal truth in the soul. The grave is not the prison of the soul, but its release. The wise man does not flee from death, but embraces it with peace. To live in truth is already to taste immortality. The soul that loves wisdom cannot perish. Death gives meaning to life, as silence gives shape to music. The greatest adventure is not life itself, but the eternity of the soul.